How to make show bookings come to you. This found you right on time. I'm Mark Mosine, bass music artist, musician, and educator based in Colorado. So we know this music thing isn't just random, right? Like, did you ever wake up and choose to do this? No. You know you didn't. Maybe you did. But if you're watching this video, you probably didn't. No, it's more something like this, right? You have some sort of calling around music, and it's not a choice. You can't not do this. You have the calling to create music. You want to be in that stage. There's a shift that happens from, wow, I love these shows, I love these raves, I love this culture, to I want to be up there shaping this culture. And you're realizing there's much more life than meets the eye, right? And so what happens is there's this small part of you that knows you can do it. Somewhere in there, maybe you're overwhelmed by your job, you hate your job, or you just aren't making money from music yet, or you're not playing the shows you want to play yet, or your music isn't good enough yet for you to feel confident about putting yourself out there on social media yet. But somewhere in there, somewhere inside all of that, you have this knowing that you can do it. Well, I'm here to remind you that you can do it. See, because when you start living life naturally, everything you want starts coming to you. I could be talking to you about any subject. This could be about golf or swim lessons or anything that you had a passion to be doing. See, it doesn't matter. When you learn how life works, when you learn how music and musical creativity actually works, you're going to get the outcome you want effortlessly. See, what's happening is a lot of people think that the best way to have the life they want is this. So let's say, okay, you're not playing enough shows yet in terms of your desire. So you're not playing the shows you want to be playing yet, so you don't feel good about that. You see other people playing these shows, and you think that after you work hard enough, it's finally going to happen, and then finally you'll feel better. So this is what we're going to call the effort to earn paradigm. We'll also call it the seeing is believing or getting what you want paradigms. So in this paradigm, what's happening is you're looking at the thing that you don't like about your music career, about your music. It could be anything, right? It could be the quality of the music. It could be the quality of the music career, like the shows that you want to play and you're not playing yet, the festivals, the collabs that you dream of, the streaming numbers that you want, the income that you want from the music. It could be anything. What's happening is most likely you're looking at that because it's unwanted, which is unwanted. It's unwanted because this is what you want to do, right? You have this calling and it's not a choice. Okay, so let's come back over here really quick. So what's happening is you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to make it happen. And the reason you're trying to do that is because you don't really know any other way to guarantee that you could have what you want with your music. And so then finally, once you play that show, once you get that money, once you have that outcome that you think you want, that you think is causing your lack of happiness, you'll feel good. This is how most people live their lives. This is how most EDM artists approach their career. They think the more effort, the more they're going to earn. They think the more they see what they want, the more they believe it can happen. They think the more that they get, the happier they'll be. Well, guess what? Most EDM artists are living life backwards. Most people are living life backwards. And so here's what you need to know. Because in this paradigm, you can play shows, but this is where you're going to have to go get shows. You're DMing 20 promoters a night. You're hoping that connection is going to come through and you're finally going to get that show that you want. Let's learn about how life is actually meant to be lived as an EDM artist. Okay, you want to play more shows. You want to have more outcomes with your music. You don't feel good about that. Okay, what we actually need to do is we have to understand the current situation and why it's serving us. Because then once we can figure that out, we can feel good about it. And once we can feel good about it, that is actually going to attract that situation to us. This is not woo-woo. This is how the universe works. It's how music careers work. I mean, think about it. Are we ever going to reach another day where another artist can go viral or pop off and make a living from this? Heck no. Dude, at the top, I mean, like you think of Subtronics or Wooly or Grizz, these top bass music dubstep artists. I mean, these guys are pulling in 6 figures per show. So don't go telling yourself that there's no money, that it's hard. Like, okay, maybe it's not the easiest thing in the world, but there's clearly a lot of abundance and there's clearly a lot of opportunity. So how is it then that so many artists are still struggling? It's the mindset. It's the lack of the knowledge of how life works. And this is how life works. You got to figure out how to feel good about the thing that you don't like. Because what attracts what you don't want is the thoughts that you're having. Because your thoughts create your reality. And so if you don't have the EDM career that you want, well, guess what? That's just feedback of the thoughts that you're having. And so all you have to do is change the thoughts that you're having and feel good. And then you're going to have the situation that you want. This is what we call the vibration to receive paradigm, or perhaps the believing is seeing or receiving what you want paradigm. Here's how this looks. I started living in the vibration to receive paradigm dominantly, I would say, just over a year ago. Actually, pretty much about a year ago. I wasn't playing many shows. I had really good music, honestly, but it just wasn't really happening for me. Social media was going okay, but I was just a little blocked. I wasn't really growing with social media. But I started to look at these things I didn't like and be like, you know what? Like, I'm grateful for the shows that I have played, which were just some bar gigs at that point. I'm grateful for the followers I do have. And the fact that I'm not where I want to be yet is okay, because first of all, we're never where we want to be. We're always going to want to be somewhere bigger. It's who we are. We are expansive beings, so we're always wanting more. We're always desiring more. But second of all, I'm just grateful for what I do have. And I started to feel better, man. I started to feel a lot better. And all of a sudden, I was spending a lot more of my time in what we call a high vibration. I was feeling gratitude and freedom and trust that despite the current manifestation, despite the current circumstance, I'm going to play the shows I want. I'm going to have the Spotify numbers I want. And so this shift happened for me about January 2025. Not 2 weeks later, I got an email from a guy in Iowa asking me to come play a show in Iowa. Here's the email. It's right here. I am not going to hide a thing. You know my email now, so don't spam me. And it was my first out-of-state show. It came out of nowhere. And they said they just found me on social media and they liked my videos, they liked my music, they liked my content. Okay, yeah, it was like mid-February, so not exactly January, but you get the point. When you live life in alignment, the music career starts to come to you. The shows start to come to you. Everything you want starts to come to you. And all you have to do is follow the inspiration, and you're going to naturally progress along in your music career. I know there's a lot of text here. We're not going to get too into that into this video, but you're just going to naturally progress in your music career. And that's really it. When you find alignment with yourself, when you learn to feel good about the things you don't want, you become a match to the things that you do want, and then they find you. Someone DMs you out of nowhere, a song does well, you get an email from Iowa for your first out-of-state show. It could come in any sort of ways, but it doesn't really matter how it's going to come, because the thing is, it is going to come. If you live in the vibration to receive paradigm, if you find those good feeling perspectives about the aspects of your music career that you don't like, that maybe you're not where you want to be yet, not playing the shows yet, not having the numbers yet, that's fine. If you can just find the positive about those things that you don't want, they're going to change. And it's not about specifically DMing a bunch of people or posting a certain amount of content. It could be about that, but all you actually have to do is find peace. And in that feeling of peace is where all your power exists, because what's going to happen is you're going to receive divine inspiration. If you don't believe me, try it. Okay. I guarantee you, if you feel better, you're going to feel it. You ever think about how your best music ideas, you're just flowing, right? It just felt good. It was fun. You're not trying. See, when you're stuck up here, you're trying. And the more you try, the less you get. But when you learn to move down here, the less you try, the more you get. Hope you have a great week. Thank you for watching. I'm going to try to make these more consistent from now on. I do help people with this stuff, not only mindset, actually music too. I promise I know what I'm talking about there as well. This is my client, Gabe. He goes by Tripping Sax. We started working together about a year ago, and he also just played his first out-of-state show in NOLA. They flew him out. He's been crushing it. He's been producing for just over a year now. So if you're ready to really take things to the next step, check out the link in the description of this video and let's talk. But yeah, until then, I'll talk to you later and have a great day.